Are you thinking about selling your business, but maybe you just don't know who that's going to be that will take over your business? And I'm going to give you 6 things that you need to think about and ascertain when you're looking at a business successor. My name is Annette Manius, and I owned a business for 31 years. I sold my business to 3 people that worked for me. They did not work for me for a long time. They came into the business as employees. And I saw something in them that made me think, yes, they could be a successor for me. A lot of times people ask me, how in the world did you find them? And again, I think I was open to it. I had in my mind, I knew that I was going to, at some point, sell the business. I needed a successor for that business. So I was open to it. My mind was already opened, but I had to think about what are they going to look like? What qualities should they have? And the least of it is that they knew the business. The other parts are a little bit more complex, I think. And not to say that they can't be learned or they can't, maybe they have part of them, but then the rest of them you can coach. So I'm going to give you 6 different things that you should consider when you start thinking about who is going to be your business successor. The first one is skills and experience. And again, that is skills and experience in the business that you're in. That's great. I've seen people who have sold businesses to people who don't really know the business. We had a customer years ago that bought a manufacturing business, and the manufacturing business was our customer, and somebody bought it that knew nothing about the business. But it was okay because he knew how to run a business. He knew how to be a leader and how to make that business work. At first, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine that. But so it's helpful if they know the business skills and experience. The second one, this is a really big one to me, is leadership abilities. You probably have seen people and have said it about people, they're just natural born leaders. Well, there are some people who are natural born leaders. They just grew up that way. And it's interesting because I like to study people, and it is interesting that some people just have natural leadership skills. But that doesn't mean that they don't need some coaching with that also. So leadership abilities is part of it. Um, I've seen people that I've thought, yeah, that'd be great for them to take over the business. This is years ago, but they really had no leadership skills at all, and really were not coachable. I would say not very coachable. So that's the other piece of it too with that. The third one is alignment with your values and your mission. This is critical. I have seen people who have brought in leaders. Actually, I know somebody right now who has brought in a leader that just does not have the same value structure. They have some of the other components. They know the business, they can do leadership, but they just don't have the same vision for the business and values. And again, they may come in not having those because they don't know what they are. But once they know what they are, which that's another thing too, you should always have your values and your vision ready, especially if you're going to get into the succession plan, ready to talk about so that people understand that. The fourth one is financial capability. And you want to, years ago, this has been years ago, I had someone who worked for me that I thought would be a really good successor because, um, again, remember, this was years ago before I knew what I know today. That I thought would be a great successor because he had the passion, he knew the business, he got the values and the vision, but the challenge that he had was that with every time you own a business, even if it's a small piece of it, there are financial considerations there. So you have taxes to pay. It's just different than just being an employee. So having that financial capability to own a business makes a difference too. I've seen people that this didn't happen in our business, but I've had people seen people that um, will sell the business to somebody, and then they try to go and get a loan for the business, and the bank wants you to put your house up as collateral. Well, I've seen situations where that didn't work out because they didn't have enough. They were so far in debt that they just couldn't. So you really don't want somebody own the business that could need the money badly. And I've seen situations with that too, where that didn't work out very well. So financial capability is a piece of it too. The fifth one is commitment and passion. Now I touched on that just a minute ago. Commitment and passion. So I have a friend of mine that his son is in the business, and his son said, "Well, now I have two small kids. I'm not going to work after 5 o'clock." Really? What business owner stops at 5 o'clock every day of the week and doesn't answer emails at night or on the weekends and get involved? So you got to have that commitment to the business and to the employees to be, and the passion for that too. And I think those two things go in together, commitment and passion as well. And then the sixth one is communication and relationships. So, it helps for, especially if you're going to have multiple people on the leadership team, that communication and relationship building is really important with that. Also with employees. So one of the guys that bought my business, what actually had been in the business for 20 years before he bought it, and never really been in a leadership position. So there was a little bit more coaching there, and to understand how to communicate with employees and that type of thing. But, again, as long as they're coachable, and you know what, I should add a number 7 on there too, that they need to be coachable and they need to be willing to be coached is a big part of it too. So I have created a course that will step you through each piece of preparing your business for a successful exit. And I'm going to put that information at the end of this video, but this is just a little snippet of what's in the course and what you'll learn. And basically, it's what I learned the hard way as going through that business succession. Because remember, I was you. I owned a business, and I was trying to do a succession plan. I had a few bumps in the road, made some mistakes, and I think I wish I had somebody that would show me, tell me from A to Z what that looked like. So take a look at my course. I'm going to put it at the end of this video, and let me know in the comments if you like this video. Also, please subscribe, would be helpful to me. Also, if you have other topics on business succession that you would like me to talk about. So, having owned a business for 31 years, I've seen a lot. So, thanks again, and I hope this was beneficial to you. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel and take a look at my course on my website, hellbenttosell.com. Because you know what? We're all hell bent to sell our businesses. Thanks.